The Tape Never Lies Network. Starts now.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
Yeah, you look at the tape. So as a coach, your resume is the tape.
Loses the football. Strip sack and
Bears our live. Bears our live. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talks and the smartest man alive. Yo. Bears our live.
Son of a bitch, you better block.
Bears our live. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talk and the smartest man alive. Ran up with the true analysis you expect. Raw passion for the show. Bear fans get nothing less. Locked in with real emotion and passion for every play. Coach Philly bring that range within with facts my shade. Post game show like nothing else you're gonna hear. Some can try to copy, but a bucket's not sincere. Delivering the truth on what just happened to be clear. That's why we're on TV, so you can see it, not just hear. Hey, yo, with Draft Dr. Phil, you know it's always hit sticks. True to fundamentals, never gimmicks and tricks. Guess we're moving Soldier Field up to Arlington Heights. Mill out counting bucks while the mayor big fights. Our life keeps growing, Shane's all knowing. Delivering the truth on how the QB's throwing. Dimes on time, just lacking fundamental. Whatever the case, we get hot like Cecil. Fiery discussion on what happened in the game. This ain't your daddy's postgame show, expect the fucking flame. Not for the average fan, a loss they can't survive.
but don't you worry.
Bears Hour Live.
Bears our life. Bears our life. We go
Let him sit his ass there again. I don't think we're that much worse.
The myth, the red legend,
Dr. Phil Ototion.
This is football, baby. Culture is the problem. Let's get on little things. Bears our life, Bears our
Son of a bitch, you better
life,
block.
Bears our life.
That's what happens. That's when you have a real
Right
good team.
after Bears
And let's
games
get it
with
on.
your boys draft talk and the smartest.
Give me some fucking names.
This is Bears Hour Live.
This is Bears Hour Live. This is the Bears. This is who they are. We should be used to it by now. But welcome to BHL. Bears get
To take
destroyed.
over the North and never give it back.
Yeah, well, you should be out of a job, buddy. Plain and simple. That's the way we roll. And it should be done. No other words need to be said. But let me bring out our guy here. I know.
Take over
Yeah.
the North, Jane.
Yeah, yeah,
Never give it back.
yeah.
We need
Then
to
it's-
give polls back.
Yeah, it should be over, but we know the Bears don't do the right thing. We know how that works, but
Oh my God.
take it away, man.
The pressure of a DDP rant. You know what? It's hard to care. It's hard to care. This team is softer than the Care Bears. Speaking of care, I'm sitting here with two of my coaches watching this pathetic piece of garbage football team. Simple, simplistic players didn't show up. Players didn't show up. Yes, the coach and all of that drops effort, assignment, the culture that was. It's going to be easy for anybody to pinpoint Flus this and Flu, what happened to Flus, and have a recency story and narrative. But if you're a TTNL fan that has been here for as long as we've been doing this, you know the softest puppy shit left tackle, the play calling, the philosophy of the cover two scheme is based on two defensive ends and a three technique that are dominant. Last I checked, you can say we got one DN. Okay? You could say that. Javon Dexter, probably not playing three technique, isn't a dominator there, but has been an amazing football player. You need a 3 technique that's going to be a twitchy, penetrating force. And then guess what? You need another defensive end. Mr. Walker needs to be dynamiting his ass out of fucking. He's a D tackle. They put him on defense. Washington. Oh my God. You talk about soft zones. I don't know who's softer, Braxton, Cole Kmet, or the Bears zone defense. There's no excuses. The effort wasn't there. And I'm sorry. Jonathan Owens deciding that he's going to go dance for a minute there, getting blown out, is just as pathetic as the culture that Ryan Poles and company have built. You've got a bunch of pricks, right, on the offensive line that are kind of mirroring who you are, Ryan. You have no fucking ability to analyze offensive linemen. None. Because what we're seeing right here could be fixed. And any asshole nightcrawler coming out blaming Caleb Williams for today, on a day where his offensive line is Turdville. I don't know, William, if I've ever seen more fans that have no knowledge of football and what it takes to win is an actual collaborative team effort. If you add soft as puppy shit offensive linemen with shitty taught fundamentals, effort, and tenacity, the toughness of a snail, half of them, and you combine that with drops and missed assignments, then the actual recipe is a disaster. And I'm sorry. You guys flip-flopping, I have no fucking respect for you. I will call you out in a fucking New York minute. You think Brock Purdy's going to play well for the Bears? Mike Hall? You fucking dumb? What are we doing here? Let's look at the big fucking picture. The play calls. 3rd and 6. Drop. 2nd and 10. Right in DJ Moore's hands. Drop. Cole Kmet on a 2-point. Drop. Cole on another. Drop. Keenan Allen. Drop. Hop. What do you got to do? What do you got to do? Let alone, I mean, I can't wait to show tape of this. I don't know what Thomas is calling in regards to third. We got flood concepts versus zone, and everybody's in the same area. I've never seen it. Never. High school level, maybe, I've seen. This is the NFL. What are we doing here? It's pathetic. You want to blame somebody? Blame McCaskey. That's who you fucking blame. You kept the fucking shithole filled with shit. You didn't wipe your ass with the coach. You decided to continue to... You left the bathroom without wiping your ass. That's what you did. You're a soft-ass franchise full of bullshit history, none of which you've made. The only thing historic is your losing record and the epic losses that you tried to skip over in regards to this coach. Now you got these fans jumping ship like goddamn pussies as well. Putting the finger where it shouldn't be. Wipe your ass, George. With a terrible fucking coach. Shit-stained franchise. That's the reality of what we got here. You want it any other way? Then go to another fucking network, because it isn't going to be anything other than this. This starts with George, ends with George, because George is a soft-ass owner who's pathetically handling narratives and creating a culture of losing with the hires and the fires and the ability and inability to put the people that are necessary in the positions that everybody needs to be on the same page with. And that's the best head coach imaginable. You had an opportunity last year rectify this bullshit. Whether it was Kevin Warren doing it or you or Poles, all of you are shit stains. All of you. Because you didn't do what was necessary. You got the right quarterback. Anybody, don't flip-flop. Don't be Nightcrawler Waters out here. It's very easy to see what kind of quarterback you got. Now, how about the softness be alleviated because the head coach doesn't tolerate it? I've been around this game a long time. I'm telling you, there is no fucking defense in the history of man that doesn't understand we're dropping into zones and 85 is their best fucking player. So we're going to be conscious of that. Only the Chicago, I've never seen more free runs. It was like they had a fast pass at Six Flags. They're able to just fucking go right to the front of the line. Just go ahead. That on Caleb? I don't know. I've been around. I saw the tuck rule in my life. I don't know how that's not the tuck rule. Saying because it's backwards, the ball is being thrown. Seemed like a weird situation, but other than that, Braxton Jones, Matt Pryor, Coleman Shelton, all of them across the line look like a bunch of soft ass. What do you call those? Those guys they hire. Analytics department. They're a bunch of analytics. All of them, right across the board. Braxton Jones can't set strong to save his ass. Big Steve could go out there and give us a better effort at his age, out of shape, than what we saw with Braxton Jones. Just walking them back. Walking them back. I've said it for months now. You move Kevin outside the left tackle. He's on the verge of free agency. See what you have there. Because he's certainly strong enough at the point of attack, and he's certainly more athletic than everybody on the offensive line. And if you had a coach that had a grain of balls and a grain of understanding personnel, not named Chris Morgan, who's terrible, they would fucking do the right thing. It's like leaving Kyle Long at guard. Pathetic. You got fans of the year criticizing. It's pathetic. I get it. What do you expect? I expect players that are professionally getting paid to go out there and perform for a young head coach prospect and give everything they have. If you say they came out the bus with intensity, then you're just as bad as George. And I'm not talking about the one from England. I'm talking about McCaskey. They both suck. All of them. This whole thing, Shane, is a shit show of epic proportions because George McCaskey has failed the Chicago Bears. He wants to say he's a fan. He wants to portray a man of the people. But he's the complete, utter opposite. A man of the people knows that people are going to be fired up. Football is intense. There's intensity. There's physicality. There's determination. There's going to be swearing. There's going to be emotion. If you can't handle that heat, George, get the fuck out the kitchen. Sit your ass somewhere else. Just get your check every week with the other McCaskies. Get out the fucking way. If you brought in some shoe salesman and Kevin Warren, then we're all fucked. Is any of you thinking that there's any other answer? I have to believe Shane is 100% right. My boy, he's been smart. You need a Bill Belichick to come in here and handle the culture of this team because there is none. It's losing with talent, without talent, same thing. Cultural problem. Don't blame quarterback, rookie. Blame owner, players surrounding. Put it in perspective that's true. You root for Justin Fields, go be a Steeler fan. Don't rebel rouse in your pathetic, ridiculous narrative of hypotheticals. Just recognize the tape. Doesn't lie. The best quarterback we've ever had. Very easy to see it. As a rookie, you're seeing it. Despite the culture of chaos, the culture of stupidity, the personnel usage of stupidity, the play calling, the Eberflus, the Waldron, the firing, this guy's still trying to give Chicago an opportunity to win, despite it all. Yet you have night crawlers and pussy whip pussies out here in the chat in Chicago, calling themselves Bears fans, ripping a young kid that had nothing to do with Cole Kmet's piss poor effort, pathetic offensive line play. DJ Moore, are you fucking kidding me? Pathetic overall, Shane. I can't say any more than that. The shit stain is where we're at today. Guys like Bullets going out there paying for this shit. Shane paying to see New England versus Chicago. It's pathetic. That's my rant, man. It's just.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. I mean, at this point, I don't expect
will call
these guys.
Everybody out. I will.
Oh, it's fine, man. Like I said, I've been on a blocking spree in the chat because it's the same old fucking people, and I think that they want to run back to, their boys and like Swifty or whoever the fuck it is and say, see, I got blocked by these guys. But if you come in here and you want to, it's the same bullshit. You talked about the night crawlers. If you watch the Chicago Bears and you come away thinking that Caleb Williams is the fucking issue, then just don't watch us. That's fine. Just don't watch us. Or if you want to come in and be the jealous little bitch that you are and make dumb fucking comments, we'll call you out and then we'll remove you. It's fine. We aren't going anywhere. We're going to be here. I don't give a shit if you don't like us. That's why you're making the comments. Like Phil said, you want to root for Justin? Go root for the backup in Pittsburgh. Go root for him. It's fine. Go do it. Is what it is. The Bears are terrible. And it's not because of Caleb Williams. We all know where it starts. We talked about it for years. We doubled down on it last week. It took a lot of blowback about mentioning Bill Belichick as the answer. Give a fuck if he's 72. I don't. Do you think that effort you saw today happens with him? It does not.
No.
It doesn't. Oh, he thinks Caleb sucks. He never said that. He never said that. He talked about things that Caleb needs to do better.
And that's what a coach's job is.
He talked about things that Caleb needs to improve on. And he held the Bears accountable because he thought it was stupid that they drafted a wide receiver in the top 10 when they clearly needed offensive line help. That was the comments that Bill Belichick made. But you know what? The best part about it is, Phil, is everybody's going to think that Ben Johnson's going to come in here and just fix everything. And if you don't fix the offensive line, if you don't fix the defensive line, we're going to be right back as a rudderless ship doing the same things all over again. It is what it is.
No, you're 100% right. And I think it's unfortunate that we have to do that. I have to hold people's feet to the fire because if you're sitting there thinking that somebody's going to be functioning above this, they have to be like, I don't know, like Phil, a quarterback. My assistant coach is like, Boy, Caleb has. I mean, if you're gonna have a rookie, you're gonna have to be able to fucking make plays. They're dropping balls right in their hands,
Right?
all over the field, and let alone the rookie head coach. Some of the play calls and the run decisions, and Swift came out in the second half. I'll give him credit and started running hard. He was not running hard to begin this fucking game.
Totally agree.
That's a problem. You need a run game. And then your offense, I mean, how many times do I have to say this about Braxton Jones? How many? Like what is going to change?
Phil, if you look at that last time when he got bull rushed and he essentially sacked Caleb himself
100%.
on that, when we go back, you have to watch the expression on his face. There was zero emotion. It was like he was almost shocked that he couldn't believe that it happened. That was Gross Matos' third sack. Third.
He had one on the year. Fucking shit boy Floyd got a sack. I am so infuriated, but I'm not like shocked because I know this owner. You know how someone pretends to like you? And then once you leave, they're talking shit about you. Like, I have no respect. I don't join in that. I don't enjoy that shit.
Right.
That's what George is. He's nice to your face, and he's talking shit about you. I'm just a fan. No, you've invaded every goddamn thing.
That's right.
You're the same fucking guy that said take Olin Kreutz with a grain of salt. No, take you with a grain of salt. It's unfortunate for us that we have to deal with
It's
you.
because it's all guys that are going to speak their mind, Phil. I look at it like the people that get pissed off with you and I and the people that don't like you and I, because if we have an issue, we use names. And people don't like that. Olin is the same way, but the Bears' history after Mike Ditka has been that's who they are. And here is the coach.
Here's the coach.
And I'll start with what I kind of addressed with the team. We got our butts kicked. There's no other way to say it. We always be straightforward, honest, and open about things that transpired. We're going to do a better job of putting a better game plan on both sides of the ball so we can execute better and obviously continue to challenge our guys to be at their best. Also encourage those guys and also demand that we still stay unified. It's a grown man's business. There is no lay down or quitting our football team, which I do love.
There was
a better
today,
job of trying to find ways to start
Definitely
the games faster, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. I think we do a decent job at halftime of making adjustments, but get the ball rolling at the beginning of some games to be able to build with the lead. But overall, I mean, not enough explosive on the offensive side of the ball, and gave it way too many on defense. Questions?
He didn't list off all the positives, Shane. That's some good stuff.
You've been an offensive coach your career until this week.
Right.
What are you doing? What's your role when you see the defense struggling and you're down 21-0 in the first half?
Yeah, I mean, I still trust our defensive coaches. I still will kind of go back and watch the tape. I haven't watched it yet. So
you have no other choice but to
having a chance to see it.
100
great to myself. But again, it's about all of us, getting back to work. Find a
Purdy
way
was
to get
just,
solutions.
it was like 7-on-7. It was so pathetic.
You told us about your
Eric Washington. Please,
to them. How did it seem like they're doing? What's the mood in the locker room? We know what it's been the last few weeks. What is it today?
Well, again, I mean, we got our butts kicked, so the move's not great. But obviously, our guys are still together. Again, like I said before, I'm gonna be open and honest with them about what's transpired, but also moving forward. And we got enough of the right guys in the locker room from a leadership standpoint to get back to work. So after the day, we'll hop back on the plane and put all the focus on Minnesota.
Thomas, I think it was in the second quarter, Eric Washington gathered the defense together. Did you hear that message that he delivered to them on the sideline?
I did not hear that message, no.
Adam Johns.
Thomas, how do you
heard him
get your brain around the slow starts and how consistent they've been this season?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. If I had the answer, I would have already fixed it. But I think, again, just being able
because they're in San Francisco, Ciro. They're not in Chicago.
To stay on the grass,
San Francisco knows what they're doing,
and keep some drives going is going to be the biggest part of it. So, but that'd be a point of emphasis for us moving forward.
There's a really long way to go before you guys cross the finish line of the season. How do you do your part to make sure that these guys understand that there's still 4
really
games left and
long
there's
way.
a lot of football
There's
to
4 more
get through?
Yeah, I mean, it's simple. I'm going to be the same guy every single day, regardless of circumstances. So the message will be the same. My approach will be the same, and we'll find ways to get back to work and get better. Yeah, I mean, the goal always, I don't care what my role is, to win football games, right? We didn't win. So that's always going to be the focus and the point of emphasis. And so I got to do a better job. Again, it always starts with me. So communicate better to the entire staff. Continue to try to find ways to demand more from my players so we can show up on game day and play the right way. We played a really good football team, and they kicked our butts.
The sacks on 3rd down, what did you see on those plays? And then what did you think of Caleb's game overall?
Yeah, I mean, I think he fought his butt off like he always does. I think continue to try to find ways to get our guys open so we get the ball out on time, but also kind of going back to the slow starts. I mean, when you're behind and having to come back in games, you're kind of forced to have to drop back more, which obviously exposes you more to sacks.
Most coaches get months to get ready for their first game.
Mike,
for you,
honestly, bro, just shut the fuck up.
How are you
at
doing
this
as far
point.
as
you're making yourself
getting the
look
operation
fucking dumb.
leading up to the game and
For
then
real.
on game day the way you
Seriously,
want?
dude.
And obviously, you still have 4 more weeks to try to fine tune that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the operation leading up to it was fine.
You're embarrassing
I kept
yourself.
my same rhythm
Good
offensively.
Lord.
Obviously, there's more on my table when it comes to how I set schedules, communicating with the team multiple times a day. So that's obviously going to continue to be something I kind of work through in the future. But again, I'll make excuses. Will I have a week?
Your fucking patron. Did you not hear me at the halftime show?
We didn't win, so that's going to be
Mike,
my only focus today and moving forward.
Christ's sake.
What did you think of Caleb today, as far as just his kind of journey through the game?
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously the first time I've been on the grass, so having a chance to meet with him face to face kind of makes it a little bit different when it comes to that versus being in the box and being on the headset. But again, I think he's relatively always calm, cool, and collective. Obviously, super competitive. So again, there was no quit and no crying and complaining with him, which is I love and appreciate. And he's a super confident dude. So he's not rattled one bit. We got to find ways to be better for us offensively.
Thomas, did you get an explanation on the fumble?
Yeah, I did. Rule change. I kind of argued that, but it is what it is.
What would they say? And you said rule change?
Just as far as the change of the tuck rule, and obviously it wasn't about his arm going forward when he tried to pull it back. It was more about how the ball came out of his hand. So they really the fumble.
First half, I think it was 20-4. And
somebody needs to
you wrap your brains around
tuck rule. Now all of a sudden it's gone.
A butts kick. Like I said,
if the arm's going forward,
offensively,
gotta be an. I don't understand.
And obviously, we just gave up too many explosives well on defense.
Thomas, in 18 days, you went from the passing game coordinator to the offensive coordinator.
This is
to the interim
the perspective that needs to be on this poor guy.
A lot now, especially with your first game as head coach in the books.
I mean, not really. I mean, I try to keep it from a small focus standpoint. I think the outside world puts a bigger emphasis on certain things, and I understand why, because the role is big. I'm not going to act like it's not. But my focus always stays on the job I've been asked to do. And I try to be the best at that.
The chat.
Rome has been kind of in the shadow since the day you guys drafted him because of Caleb being there and the experienced receivers being there.
God.
What are you seeing from him? You touched on this today, obviously, but what are you seeing from him now as he's getting toward the end of his rookie season? He's got the experience.
Yeah, I mean, Rome has been very consistent from day one. Like I've said before, I think as far as his approach to the game is super mature. Does a really good job in meetings.
Yeah, just holster the dances in the end zone when you're getting fucking bum rushed.
I totally agree. Rome shouldn't be dancing. Jonathan Owen shouldn't be dancing. The situation for this coach obviously needs to be in perspective. And I think you need to hear me say it again. If you're talking about Justin Fields, Steelers are for you. He's gone. He's a second string backup quarterback. You can point fingers to blame and who, but Caleb Williams is 50 times better as a quarterback than he is. Book it. It's or every person.
I'm gonna start pulling fucking clips of us holding Caleb accountable.
Yeah.
I mean, we did a whole fucking tape breakdown on the Notre Dame game, but yeah, we can't. You guys, I'm keeping it a buck, like Mike said, right? But we can't criticize. Yeah, we've done it plenty, Mike. You're just fired up at the moment. and you don't. I just don't fucking understand what we're doing here. Honestly, I really don't. Guess what? You want to root for Justin? Go root for Justin. I got some breaking news for you. Justin Fields ain't gonna suck your dick because that's essentially what you want at this point.
I've never been around anything so pathetic. Like, if there was merit to it, do you think Shane and I wouldn't be battling for Justin Fields?
You guys complain too much. You call everybody. Oh, but yeah, we're just gonna pick and choose. That's what we do. That's what we do.
Oh my God!
Like,
I will just say that if Mike Glennon was good, I'd be fighting for the guy. If Justin Fields had the potential to bring us to where we needed to go,
we wanted Eberflus fired for Justin.
We wanted him gone for Justin. I wanted him gone in year 1, and people thought I was playing game. No. Then I'll give him 3 games into year 2. I was done. I was right again. Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves, whatever the fuck this dude's name is. Ali Ramirez. You're pathetic. You're pathetic. Everybody that's worth anything to football will tell you, to a man, life depending on it, Caleb or Justin.
But that's
all of them are taking care. Caleb or Jaden Daniels. Caleb.
Ethan has it right. Ethan has it right.
Exactly. Ethan. It's the 100%. People like Ramirez.
Your starting quarterback is like what, 36?
You want attention,
Justin's
buddy.
25. Justin's going to be on another team next year.
Justin will be on the Jets.
And
they'll suck there.
What they're going to say, oh, wait till year 5. Wait till year 6. Wait till year 7. And it's just, then you get dumb fucking comments about the generational cape. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, oh my.
It's sad. Like, do you want the truth or do you want some dumbass rainbow of bullshit? I'm not that guy. There are no otherworldly throws. Barely Simo. There's none. Show us these shits. Because they're none. He'll flip-flop when you get the right coach and all of a sudden you see complete understanding fundamentally of offense if we could get the right coach. Right now, there's utter chaos. And Caleb is doing things you haven't seen. He's broken an NFL fucking record. He continues to break the Bears record. And if you're sitting there watching the effort of the team today and pointing the finger at him, I mean, you are the problem. You're the problem. Because you don't want to be successful. You want to be right. So you root against your own team to be right. Now, the only point I could put in the feather of Pole's cap is that he understood talent at the quarterback position needed to be fixed. He did. He's not going to show his hand and come out and tell Bears fan, fucking Justin is doing. Justin did that. Justin, like a little pussy, Instagram, unfollowed the Bear. You remember the whole thing went on with the St. Brown brothers. He cares zero about you, Bears fans. Zero. Trust me. Nothing. He doesn't care about you. Here's a guy, goes to the podium, cares about being great in Caleb Williams. It's a complete different stratosphere in regards to talent, energy, effort, and ability. What we're seeing out here is a team that has quit on the profession of football. It came out flat like the state of Iowa. Just flat as shit. All around, the whole team. And you would think that they would come out fired up for this young head coach, but they didn't. And whether Eric Washington is well liked or the next person's well liked, the point that Shane and Phil are trying to make is that George McCaskey, with his inability to be uncomfortable, decided we're going to continue with this soft-ass, soft-serve ice cream coach. And we're going to not be uncomfortable with swearing and accountability and culture about winning at all costs. We're not. We're going to go the same route we always did. And you were afraid of a former Chicago Bear first-round quarterback who'd been ripped to shit by Ditka, who understands the position and the importance of the offensive line, understands the importance of a quarterback, understands the importance of growth as a quarterback. He's been through it himself, and you passed on it. That's without me giving his resume of coaching. How? It was the easiest layup this side of fucking, I don't know. It's like winning the Powerball and throwing the ticket out. Who does that? The Bears with McCaskey. She's pissed off, Shane. She's pissed off.
Yeah, great.
How's Virginia taking this? She's pissed off. George, are you sure you're allowed to say pissed? You sure? I stood right next to you. You smile in my face, but really you can't stand me. I get it, because you don't like the truth. So when the interviewer is sitting in front of you saying, you know what needs to be fixed? Jay Cutler needs to go and Ted Phillips needs to go. Know what George does? You need to go. You can't work here. That's too harsh. No. Ted's an outstanding leader. Matt Nagy, like Ted, is an outstanding leader. Go check the audio on that. That's a true quote. This is what you have. The whole board should come together and remove George. You have to have a board that understands football first. The stadium and all that shit will get built if you're winning. People will want to spend money on a winner. But if you yourself are a loser and you're soft on top of being a loser, you're never going to do it right. You can't hire Bruce Arians. He's too risky, guys. He only won Coach of the Year, but he's too risky. Let's hire Mark Trestman. Dan Quinn sitting in the fucking back of the plane on a fucking general ticket. We're going to do it different this time. We're going to go to the airport and pick up Ryan Poles.
Right. Mike, listen, I love you, bro. And I know everybody's emotional, but I will address this. Caleb is a great man, but he fucks up too, man. Exactly, Mike. Everybody knows that. And that's the fucking point. He's a rookie quarterback. There's going to be peaks and valleys, which we have talked about, which we have highlighted all the fucking time. And then you go on, and to be destroyed for saying it is Swifty and Sean Sierra like, which, okay, so fuck you for that, because we're nothing like either of them. But the point is, Mike, let's bring this out. You went on to Facebook onto our page and you said what? Well, Mr. Irrelevant's completely outplaying the number one overall pick today. Why, Mike? Is there a difference at all? Does he have an elite level coach around him? Is he a rookie quarterback? No, he's not. That's the fucking point.
Well, as of right now, Mr. Irrelevant is a lot better than the number one overall pick,
imagine that.
and it ain't close.
And imagine that.
So it's like saying a guy racing the fastest guy with 20 pounds of weight on his back should beat the fastest guy. Do you understand how completely that is stupid? Caleb can't win. It's a team sport.
Guys, we're acknowledging Mike because he's been with us forever.
And we love Mike.
He's a patron. That's the thing. It's much like coaching. Sometimes you hear shit you don't want to hear. I've said shit to Phil. Phil said shit to me, us to Ivan, back and forth. It is what it is. It's not like we're going to remove Mike for speaking his mind, but we call everybody out.
But we're going to call you out. Imagine putting in 20 plus hours of cutting and analyzing tape and then and going on there talking about it, showing it. And then everybody turncoats and says, no, Tyson Bagent would be better. It's like,
that's the thing. That's the other. Hey, he's setting records for holding onto the ball too long, and he hasn't thrown a pick in 245 passes. I mean, he's like 80 passes.
Would you rather have
the NFL record?
A pick?
Don't you remember going into the sea? He's got to learn to hold on to the football, and I
gotta not play hero ball.
Not hero ball. Can't turn the ball over.
Just can't turn it over.
Oh my God, he fumbles way too much.
Would you rather have a sack, or would you rather have an interception? As a coach, I'm telling you right now, you'd rather take the sack.
Nobody said he was the best quarterback out there today. Those words clip me where we just said that. You're not seeing what we're talking about. You
Mike
saying
really need to
that Mr. Irrelevant is playing better than Caleb? Or what was the exact wording, Phil?
As of right now, Mr. Irrelevant is a lot better than the number 1 overall pick, and it ain't close. He's been in the league.
Been to fucking Super Bowls.
Been to the Super Bowl.
As an elite level play caller.
Been a great team, a great coach, a great talent. I mean, would you trade our tight end for their tight end? Would you trade the receiver for ours? I mean, what are you doing, bro? That's where we're trying to say, okay, obviously, he should. Brock Purdy. Doesn't matter where the fuck you're drafted or what college you went to. It's how you play. Caleb was a fucking rookie quarterback.
Rusty's right here, Phil, and we talked about this too. He goes after other than our top 10 pick, who in his second year has underperformed.
I just got to get a drink.
But Poles brings in offensive linemen that he sees himself in, because he was the UDFA that teams weren't given a chance, and he came to Chicago and got a tryout. Rusty is exactly right. That's what he's doing, and it's not good enough. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. You've tied your wagon to a lot of these guys, and the guy from Green Bay and the guy from Buffalo, that I'm just blanking on his name because he never plays anymore. But yeah, at some point that's going to come back and kill you. You can have a couple of guys like that. Braxton Jones, great. Shouldn't be in there. We've said it here. These two guys forever. Braxton Jones on a good team is what, Phil? A fucking backup swing tackle.
100%. 100%. But yet they're going to take pride in the fact that he's a 5th round pick. And, he's playing above that expectation because he's out of Utah. What was he out of? Utah State? No.
Yeah, it's Utah, wasn't it? Yeah, Utah State.
Was it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Fuck, it wasn't Utah State. Fuck.
Western Utah? Is that what it was?
Some smaller school. Because Utah State is not that small. Somebody who's in their 3rd year and has been in the voting. Southern Utah. Thank you. Yeah. Someone who's been in their 3rd year and has played at an MVP-like level. He was up for MVP last year up in the voting. And Brock Purdy is going to play. I mean, his expectation is. But then you add into the culture of the Chicago Bears, the talent of the Chicago Bears. And you would think that DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, and these guys would step up and rise up for Caleb and Thomas Brown and company. But Cole Kmet is too busy doing a fucking show. Right? He's too busy. They're all distracted by the who's going to be the next coach. How are you going to rise above all of this with the utter shit show? It is what I said. It's a shit stain. What George has done, he's fired how many coaches now?
Oh, under his watch?
Yeah, under his watch.
Well, yeah. So you had to start with Lovey and then just
Lovey. Then it goes on
down
the line. How many playoff games has he won? None. How many?
2 playoff appearances.
How many of these decisions that he's been involved in with leaders of men has he found? None.
I wonder why it's taken so long for Caleb to have his presser.
If Shane and I were the GM of the Bears, George Kittle would be a Bear, not Adam Shaheen. So those of you talking about Ryan Pace is better than Paul, stop. All of these guys are so bad.
They followed up Mitch with Adam Shaheen.
Mitch and Shaheen. And this is the point where I'm like, okay, kid's
not
an
on the
athlete.
team. It's not on the team, Logan. But we will have more on that later because we currently have some tape being caught.
You had the history of Ryan Pace, who was hired by George McCaskey and company. They hired the GM. They interviewed coaches before they hired the GM, then hired the president with the GM that just was hired, and they hired a coach with Bill Polian before the president. And yes, this happened with George McCaskey's. It's just pathetic. You talking about Bates?
Yeah.
From
Buffalo.
Bates from Buffalo. They tried to sign, then traded for. Lucas Patrick, they called him a prick, the kind of guy that you want leading your offensive line. They don't have one captain, as Shane pointed out, as an offensive lineman yet.
That wasn't me that pointed it out. That was Yerk talked about it. He's like, you have that many captains and there's not a lineman on the offensive or defensive side of the ball. It's the truth.
And don't tell me this team is not as good as the 49ers. If you come in there with effort, Shane, you saw it against the Patriots.
Yeah.
I still remember.
Texted you in warm-ups, Phil.
Sean, you texted me in warm-up. Sean Stewart, one of our amazing patrons that doesn't fucking flip-flop like a little bitch, like some of these fucks. I don't care. Sean's like, you could just see. And he's not talking to you how this team does not want to play for this coach. After that game, your GM that you hired, George, wants to fire the guy that he supposedly chose. I chose him. Someone give me that drop. Bullets. You've been able, Bullets or Anthony, somebody. I need somebody that wants to produce to reach out to me. You want to be a part of this and be a fucking killer of truth? Reach out to me. I need that person. They come out there. I chose him. I still remember it was what's his name, who asked Ryan Poles in that introductory, did you want more time to go through some more coaches that you wanted? It took him 14 days to come up with the coach. 14 days. That's how they decided on Matt Eberflus. They interviewed 13 coaches in 14 days. And they came with Matt Eberflus. Not Dan Quinn, who was a finalist. Matt Eberflus. Stand Matt Eberflus and Dan Quinn next to each other. Just on the history of Dan Quinn has been a coach before. Dan Quinn has too big of a fucking mouth, a personality of truth. That's why he wasn't hired. Matt Eberflus was a highly paid yes man. So let's look at this shit for real. What's up, Coach Wes? Coach Wes is a 49ers fan. One of the good guys in football. Oh, it can't be well, Coach, when you have what we have that is pathetic in regards to the culture of the Chicago Bears. People that understand football will understand the terrible situation that a rookie quarterback has been placed, and Caleb has been able to overcome it. For me, that's a giant check mark in his corner. I didn't see no quit. I don't see interception after interception being thrown. I don't see a guy not willing to fucking sell out for his teammates. I don't see a guy throwing missed assignments and erratic balls. I see balls hitting people in the hands, in the chest, being dropped. I see missed assignments on the offensive line. I see piss poor run block effort. I see piss poor pass pro effort. That's what the reality is. So it is a shit show of epic proportion when you look at it like this. And Ponch NL, this is the deepest room I've ever been a part of. He was talking about the offensive line room.
Right.
That's his assessment. That's an indictment on the GM, man.
Like I told you, man, he's bringing in guys
Or Chris Morgan
that remind him of himself.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, Tevin Jenkins is a fucking, he's the opposite of George McCaskey. He's a angry, sometimes erratic guy that's going to be the best dancing bear fucker out there, right? Somehow you got to contain the mental side of him, but the athletic side and the talent is there. And you put that at left tackle. And now you got your right tackle. So now we're cooking with gas to try to find the interior players. But instead, Themo is going to fucking put out this shit. Braxton Jones is so soft, he makes Komet look tough. That's true.
I was pulling a couple of tweets from Twitter. Let's start here. Terrence Young says Caleb is still the guy, and EJ says, yup, it becomes clear as day every game.
EJ, the Nightcrawler, back. Every game.
Clear.
It becomes clearer and clearer.
Chubbs is right here. This is the thing. I think if we gave most people a truth serum, they think if you get Ben Johnson, you're just automatically getting the Detroit Lions offense. And that's not at all how it works. Now, can you build up to that? What are they going to do? You're not getting that offense. You don't have anywhere near that offensive line. So that's where it's got to start. I mean, I saw somebody like, hey, the Bears are going to get the number 1 pick. Can you imagine putting Travis Hunter with this wide receiver core and Caleb? I'm like, what
Oh,
the fuck
my
are we
God.
what are we doing? What are we doing?
Shane has said this. I have said this. I met with Ian Cunningham. He was the most real guy, nice guy. Anybody that could say, bro, TTNL, what's up? The tape never lies. Me and Jim Laris at Wong, he knew exactly who I was. It's like, listen, man, I respect it. You got to hold us accountable. We get it. That's his exact. Those are the type of guys I want. If Ian is handcuffed by George, then George is the problem. Do you understand? And I don't know what time your yoga studio is open till, but if we look at paper,
You're talking
what
about
was
the
out there
49ers team. You're not
today.
talking about the 49ers at full health.
Right. I'm talking about
the
today.
49ers team that you saw today.
If you look at paper of what you played against today versus the Bears, come on. What the effort of the Chicago Bears showed was complete and utter trash. I was hoping Thomas would go in on the team saying, this is pathetic. We got to be better than that. The effort wasn't there, and that's on me. Because it wasn't. It wasn't. And I am the first one to tell you, 100%, it was TTNL and me standing there saying, the fact that George fucking McCaskey is controlling a narrative on Hard Knocks and they can't swear is a huge fucking problem. And we had pathetic daddy pussies out there in the chat saying, oh, come on, now I can watch it with my kid. What are you talking? It isn't authentic to the sport, to coaching. Go watch the AFC North Hard Knocks. You think any of those Steelers are not swearing? Are the fucking Steelers owners coming? Listen, Mike. It's fucking the start. It's the where the welcome mat is, the softness in the house. That's where that begins. It's all you need to know. You're worried about that? You're worried about, you didn't even show your fucking face, George. You didn't have one bit of moral character or fabric to show your face in how you do dealings. You tried to pretty this shit up like your mom is doing something. What is she doing? Nothing. Poor lady's 102 years old. She's got you fucking pushing her around, probably. Who knows what the fuck's going on? It's embarrassing what you've done to the franchise. She fired her own son, Michael, and entrusted the ticket guy, her other son, to take over and do right. And you've done everything wrong. Everything. Every fucking hire has been wrong. So what should that say? Be more involved? Let's promote the coffee with Coach. Let's promote Staley, let's video Staley going to someone's house and giving them tickets to the game. Let's not allow fans access to the team. Let's steal cameras out of the stands and delete video like we're at a Taylor Swift concert or something. Like there's some copyright. It is on every level pathetic. Starts way up there. The shit goes down. I know you have to be being facetious, bro.
I don't think he is.
I think he is. He's got to be Greek. He knows the shit.
There's no way that's his name.
Atalopoulos. It's a dysfunctional organization. I'm going to read the good comments like Jerry Seinfeld.
Treese Kane, $5. Fam, do you know if a trade for Stefanski is realistic? Any compensation? And DDP, did you see the Booty Warrior video? He did see the video.
I did see
that
the
was
video.
after.
Ivan
Yeah, we
showed
had
me
it queued up for him. And
it was great.
we have no idea what Cleveland's going to do.
They could be firing him at Treese, so then you get him without any compensation.
Yeah, who I don't know. Clintonio, $4.99. McCaskey, wherever you are, I hope you're happy now.
Thank you, Clintonio.
We hear you. Eratopoulos is pissed because somebody brought up George. Chubbs, 82, $5.
Burner.
Bulls, our left tackle. Edmonds, Komet, everybody on the team except for the 2 rookies. Why should I care anymore? I hear you, man. Nobody's who's standing out to you on defense. That last couple of games, I thought that Jonathan Owens has probably played the best. Edwards made some plays today.
Edwards has played, but bro, I did a whole defensive breakdown against the Vikings the other day.
Trail treats, $2. At least my Sun Devils are still alive. Congratulations on that.
Do you make the trail treats? Because I'm a big fan of those trail treats.
Malik Smith, $4.99.
Garp or Gorp.
Rather Virgo than me, ATP. I won't go into detail because this team is killing me. Just saying.
What is ATP?
The ATP, I have no idea. I don't know. I'm too old.
Malik Smith.
$4.99 is back. I'm immediately felt bad after God forgave me, but this team just doesn't love us the way that we love them. Well, that's the truth.
Malik,
it's the organization.
Malik, honestly, if I had the organ player that I've been wanting and Shane hasn't done it for me, then that would be in the sermon. Dun, 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 dun. They let us down. Dun, 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 dun. They do it again. Dun, dun, dun. Well, that would be the blues. But I need some gospel because I do have the blues right now.
I do, Fart Man. I do.
Pretty creative name, Fart.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Really creative.
He's clearly a badass. Goodbye, Fart Man.
Oh, let him stay. Don't let him go. Don't let him go. We need him on the show.
At this point.
Thank you. At this point. Don't abbreviate all this shit. It's too hard for us old guys.
That's right.
We don't know all this.
Let's rip through these. Gareth
Skibbity Riz.
Well, $13.99. Caleb. The
My
only
guy.
thing holds hopes. DJ Moore this season. Lack of effort. Team is in another rebuild. Don't trust the decision makers to do it right. Right there with you. If it's me, Ryan Poles is gone, and you start over there. Caleb isn't going anywhere.
Caleb
the head
here.
coach and the GM. On the
GM
same
and head coach
timeline.
same. Hire the GM. If it's Bill Belichick, he's gonna bring the GM in. I am not out of the realm of trading for Kyle Shanahan. I don't agree with Ivan at all. I know what he said, and that's what he's gonna say. But
right, that's what
the biggest problem with this team is George and who they hire as the head coach. So if you've identified, and this is up to Kevin Warren, is Kevin Warren obviously, as you pointed out, he neutered Ryan Poles. It looked pathetic, them standing at the presser. But I'll say this. Is he the guy that's going to hire the next authority figure in the football department? If that's the case, if it's a coach, then that coach, like Shanahan, say it's the dude from the Rams, if they're trading for these guys because they realize how big of a problem them finding a head coach has been, like, we can't ignore that. We can't.
First half struggles have been a consistent issue all year. How do you wrap your brain around the slow starts?
Yeah, exactly what TB said. I think if we had the answer, we would have solved it by now as players, as coaches. It's not something that you want to do because that puts you behind in games. And then when you're behind in games, which we've been in a couple of these past games that we've been playing,
all of them,
you got to come back, and it's a taller task. We have to do it, if it happens, but it's a taller task, and you don't want to, deal with that every game. If you can get out and, jump on people in these teams and impose your will, that's obviously what you want to do early in games. And we haven't been doing that.
We've talked about the value of you getting reps this season. When you're chasing points the way you've had to chase in the last 2 weeks, those reps a little less valuable because it's not kind of the ideal situation of run pass mix and you're probably throwing a lot more than you
shut up,
Pat,
I wouldn't say that
verbiage.
it's hindering anything or anything like that for me personally. I think they drop back in these coverages. They're mixing up coverages and things like that. Cause obviously, when you get down now, they're trying to make sure that you don't start coming back and scoring points. And it's something that we've done recently pretty well is, when we get down and we come out of halftime and things like that, scoring points, getting after it. And so I wouldn't say I wouldn't put it in that context of it being negative.
Real quick before I lose my mic, was the communication with UNTV the same today?
How's he losing his
as it had
mic?
been, or in what ways was it different because he was the head coach?
Yeah, I'd say it's the same. I think we had I would say him and I, him being on the field, obviously you're right there, being able to talk to each other and things like that, face to face. I'd say that was the biggest difference. And then from there, it's just, when you have these promotions, when you have these, these situations that we've had happen with coaches being fired and things like that and promotions, people earn or are promoted to new jobs. And there's new things that they have to deal with. And it, like I always talk about in all the, interviews that I do is all the small things matter.
When your
so,
quarterback
when you have to add more
understands
to,
it
what you're
more
already
than the
doing,
owner,
it's something
you
new.
see the problem?
And it's live bullets flying. There's going to be, every once in a while, it's going to,
Doug Heratopoulos.
things are going to happen. Communication is going to, be
No
different than what it
comment.
was in the previous position
Don't
that
know
you were
what
in,
you
just because
said.
you have a lot more on your plate.
But fuck the
But I
owners.
think today was, I think we did well today. With the situation that that has occurred, and we got to keep going, keep fighting, and stand tall.
Caleb, Thomas told us earlier in the week that his message to you guys was about how football rewards teams that play violently.
Yeah.
Just knowing that you guys
George got
outgained
nervous there.
15 yards in the first half. How do you rectify whether that's effort, whether that's just being outplayed? How do you rectify that, knowing what Thomas had kind of encouraged you guys to do today?
Yeah, we got excuse me, we got I don't know if Thomas said like this, but we got our ass kicked today. And
George is pissed, Jane. He just swore.
They had
Fine him.
Fine him.
Fine him.
They had two.
Mommy, did you hear him?
Going and a half. They had two.
I can't believe it.
I believe, and we had four total yards.
Sanborn looked
that's
real
something
good
that's
covering that deep shot
regardless of
downfield.
How we feel, regardless of all of that, we got a hand to
Sanborn
us.
looked
And so
awful today.
It's
So
offense,
did
defense, special
Tremaine.
teams.
So did
myself,
Edmonds.
we got to come out
Edmonds is in game 3 of looking
and
bad.
be better. It's
Oh
just,
my God.
totally what it is.
He
We
has
got to be
no
more violent. We
understanding
gotta,
of zone
have our
responsibility.
screws screwed, and we got to be on point. And that's not what happened today. We started to get something going, and then I end up fumbling the ball. I guess. I end up fumbling the ball, and our momentum and things like that from there started going down, and
Jack,
they go score again, and off of
Met
that,
off.
and it's you have points off of
Jack.
turnovers, and you're already down. It's tough at the end of the game.
And just to touch on what you were talking about earlier with the slow starts, knowing that that's been a problem all season long. And sometimes when there is a coach change mid-season, that can maybe give you guys a bump for a little bit, or it could put a Band-Aid over a bigger issue. Does seeing the same problems today that have existed for the previous 13 weeks show you that there might be some other things this team needs to fix that are deeper than just one thing?
Could or could not. I don't have the answer for it being something bigger or just the Band-Aid aspect of it. I think as players, coaches, I think we just overall need to do better. You know, and I can definitely speak on myself. You know, when we get out there, you know, that first half, you got to go and score points, find a way to score points.
Look at this
some
comment.
way, somehow, regardless of how it happens, regardless of
He
you know,
was the
situation.
answer, Shane.
You know, we got to go out there and score
Yeah.
points.
Couldn't got a haul.
Glad I removed him about an hour ago from the.
Straight sacks on third downs. What do you think
Justin was the answer.
Yeah, the most important thing is first and second down efficiency. Not taking sacks on first and second down. When you get the third down, now it's time to, because you know, if you incomplete, if there's, you know, we're short of the line or anything like
Players
that,
drop
on third
the
down,
fucking ball.
we run the ball,
Let's be
you know,
honest.
take off, we throw, whatever,
And
the
we're
case may be.
punting.
You know, taking a sack, taking, you know, it goes into that category.
To get to
it
all of your
obviously
super
matters
chats.
because now you're going off the field, but you know, incomplete, you're going off the
Then
field.
we're gonna get out of here.
You know, we run the ball in those situations and we don't get it. You know, you go off the field, you take a sack, you go off the field. So, in those situations, first and second down, you don't want to take sacks. Third down is now the time to make the play. And we didn't do that today.
Is that it?
Caleb, what happened on the fumble?
Caleb.
Yeah.
It's like kind of a fucking Blair Witch.
We called a play, and
Caleb, what happened after the
timing wise, we were just, you know, myself,
Caleb, Cindy,
you know, just
News
a little
5.
off.
Why weren't you
and
better
so,
than Brock Purdy today?
I was throwing the ball, and
I was trying to
timing was a
pull
little
back.
off. I held the ball, and my hand was still coming forward, and
it shouldn't have been a
I
fumble.
was rolled a fumble. So yeah.
He's trying to stay
how
out
hard
of
is it
fines.
for the leadership group?
I've
and
never.
captains
I don't know how
to
that was a
kinda
fumble.
galvanize
Sorry.
guys when you're losing. I mean, it just to go through the streak. I know we talk about the culture and the veterans and everybody in that locker room, but is it difficult to keep pushing and keep getting guys up for week after week until you get that win?
My job is to lead. The captain's job is to lead from the front, even when it's tough. My job is not to get you up to come into the facility to do your job, to come in and have after hours treatment, all these different things, you know. My job is to, and our job is to go out there and lead the guys.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Lead the guys the right way.
Replay assist said it went backwards.
It's a
pass.
internal thing. You know, to get up and, you know, do the job over and over.
The hand is going
you know, and as leaders,
forward.
we do obviously
But
have
the
to
pass
encourage and
went
keep
backward.
encouraging.
Because it
we have
went
to
down
stand
like
tall,
this.
And
That's what they're
I
saying.
see this
have that
again.
courage.
They never gave us an
the most
angle of
important thing for yourself. Have courage,
Like,
and from
the
there, you can
actual
encourage
TV
other guys.
angle
And
I
so,
need.
as leaders, we have to obviously keep getting up and
Like backwards. It went
and-
like
and
this
fighting and leading these
across.
guys.
It
And,
went
No,
down.
you know,
I
that's
just
an
watched it.
internal thing,
100%
getting
went
up and,
backwards.
you know, keep going, keep
Did
fighting,
it?
keep throwing
Yeah.
punches. You know, we have to keep coming together. We have to keep finding ways to have productive drives, defense stopping people.
Imagine
special teams
Peyton
on the
Manning
field, you know,
back
putting it through the
when he
the
lost.
goalposts or, you
What,
know,
how
whatever
many
the
straight?
case may be. We got to find ways to have successful, you know, downs, special teams, defense, offense.
What was Peyton Manning his first
Also
year?
the running back,
1 and
Jimmy
18,
touchdowns.
1 and
What did you see on each of those
16,
connections?
15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one, the defender.
Remember when he threw like
on the motion guy
29
confused,
picks?
and they weren't
a rookie?
decisiveness, and
Yeah.
Rome ran a great route.
Imagine
didn't
what
get
that would have
coached,
been like with the
and, just
Bears fans.
gave him opportunity.
I
to
can't
back
believe we got
pylon,
rid of Steve
so I'm gonna practice
Stenstrom
all the
for this
time,
fucking stuff.
and he went up and made
It would have
great play,
happened,
getting
Phil.
both feet
I
down.
can't believe you got rid of Jim
You know, the
Harbaugh for
second
Peyton
one,
Manning.
You know,
Was
knowing
it
the type of
Harbaugh?
player that 54 is
No,
on their side
Manning
of the
was
ball.
1998 draft.
You know, they end up being in
So it
a,
would have
a
been
two
like
shell,
would have
two high
been
shell,
like Shane
playing cover four behind it, I
Matthews,
believe.
those guys.
And,
No, I'm
you
saying
know, with the back going this way,
who was the Colts
you know, starting off with
previous
three
play
receivers,
caller?
you know,
Oh,
to that
yeah,
side of
yeah.
the field on the right side.
Was it Harbaugh?
Back going
No.
across my face.
I don't think so.
You know, Rome ran a great route. You know, froze Fred. Fred had his eyes on me in the back, and Rome ran a great route.
They were
made a great
1 and
catch,
15.
and it was second touchdown.
Aikman was 1 and 15.
Awesome. The Bears.
See, win or lose, he says the Bears or go Bears. It was Jeff George he replaced. Was it? Richard Gordon's usually right. If only we had Ivan here to check. Ivan's so pissed he isn't even coming on the show today.
I don't blame him. See, there's
Oh.
the. Well, I don't want to get
this angle. We're gonna get dinged. Yeah, do that. I don't know, bro.
That goes backwards, Phil. Look at his foot. Look where his foot is.
But the arm is going forward.
It doesn't matter, Phil. If you throw the fucking ball,
If it alleviates your
if you
hand,
throw
it's
the fucking ball,
incomplete.
if you throw the ball and it goes fucking backwards, it's gonna be a fucking fumble.
I
It's
thought
behind the
so
line of
too
scrimmage.
until they fucked us over with the same thing. With Aaron Rodgers did the same thing. I go, well, it went backward. Nope, it's incomplete. Okay, there's no clarity of this rule. His hand was going forward. The ball went down.
Yeah, but if that ball is behind.
No, I
his left
see what
foot.
you're saying.
Yeah.
I new ways. There's always a new way.
Let's rip through these because I gotta.
Braxton Jones getting bull rush there too.
Oh yeah,
the Braxton bull rush.
Robert Cook, $5 after the presser. Tell us if you think Thomas Brown can instill something into this team to finish strong with some balls and swag.
No, it's done, guys.
That's over.
It is completely
It is what
over.
it is.
This team went out there and played
the first half
how their
ended
integrity is 100%.
And it just is.
That's
what
why
it is.
we're protecting our quarterback, unlike the offensive line. And the pathetic performance by DJ Moore, I'll put it out there. DJ, Cole Kmet, Keenan Allen, dropping balls all over the field. Gary Catacon, $5. You need a battle-tested Bill Belichick, Phil. Spare the rod, spoil the child. The Bears are long overdue for some accountability. Ben Johnson is a no. Shane went on Keeping It 100 this past week. 100%. I agreed with him. Anybody taking shots at Bill Belichick or bringing up his quarterback and all of that stuff isn't telling the story of Bill Belichick appropriately. Bill Belichick was the guy who put Drew Bledsoe on the bench, the first-round quarterback, the future of the franchise, and believed in Tom Brady. He made Tom Brady with Tom Brady's effort. He did.
Don Wanderley, $9.99. I want polls gone, but a new GM may not be loyal to Caleb. Well, if that's the fucking,
then he doesn't get hired. I don't know any new GM that's gonna do
nope.
Sean Payton. Shane, can we pull that footage? I know I have it somewhere on my phone.
I can't see
but not
it.
today.
I
Sean
can't see
Payton
a GM
talked
coming in
about-
here and saying, "Yeah, that's your problem's 18."
Sean Payton was on Fox. Everyone's throwing bouquets at Bo Nix. Sean Payton's a great coach. I said it on this show. Would you be willing to pay for Sean Payton? Yes, because you're gonna have accountability. He's under the Parcells tree. He understands how to coach situations. He understands quarterback play. When he's on Fox, he says, and I'm paraphrasing the exact quote, that guy is on a different playing field. And he's talking about Caleb Williams. He's the kind of guy that you would tank for.
Yeah.
You would tank for him. He wasn't talking about Bo Nix. He wasn't talking about Justin Fields. He wasn't talking about any of these motherfuckers. He was talking about Caleb Williams. Jeremiah Johnson, $9.99. Thank you. All this comparing Caleb to Purdy needs to stop. Purdy, with all the accolades, still has his team debating whether to pay him $65+ million. Speaks volumes. 100%. Shane said, "Are you going to play Brock Purdy $65 million?" I don't think I could, to be honest, but that's the going rate of a quarterback. Purdy's a good quarterback. He's an anticipation thrower. He's a sneaky, better than you think athlete. And he's been in the league doing this with an amazing coach. Shane knows how much I love Kyle Shanahan. I would trade draft capital to get the coach right. Shanahan would be he'd be in my fucking pool. Oh, he got it. Look at you.
When we in scouting like to say, well, who does he remind you of? And we're not putting that pressure on Caleb saying, oh, you're going to be the next Mahomes. But it's very good when you can say he's like this. Yeah. And so I brought it up yesterday on the show. I think he's a generational player now. I've seen 3 or 4 games, obviously not as much as I would if I was truly doing the evaluation. But at some point, especially with the relationship our league has in gaming now, at some point, we're going to move to a lottery system in the NFL. Because this is a player that possibly does that, where at the end of the season, here you are in week, call it 14, 12, and clubs begin to lose to try to put themselves in that position. That's not been a problem to date with our league as we know it. I mean, and it very well could have been. We've had 2 teams that I know lost games.
One of them was to get Jameis Winston.
Tampa Bay, Lovie Smith, great coach, a good friend. And
Lovey, thank
we
you.
were losing to the Buccaneers last game of the season. All their starters were pulled. Like, all the linebackers were pulled. And I'm on the headset in the third quarter asking our staff, like, what do you mean Levante David's out? Coach, he's out, such and such. And right away, they were at the 1 spot. Had they won that game, they risked going to the 2 spot. And they wanted to select Jameis Winston. So that actually happened. But it happened at 1 o'clock on a small rating game, and it just disappeared in Tampa, and we never talked about it.
That's right.
Now, last year
I never
on
saw
a
this
national
whole
stage, or 2
thing.
years ago, I forget, Philadelphia took out their starting quarterback and put in Nate Sudfeld. And everyone thought, what are they doing in this? And it was on Monday Night Football now, or Sunday Night Football, and that was a problem for the league. And it was
Because
a
it
problem
had a
because
big
look,
audience.
Philly wanted to stick at the 5 or 6 spot. There was nothing that they were playing for. You're always playing for something, though, and you lose a little piece of your locker room when you do that, I think. But this player, I think, is the type of player that
Caleb.
we would look back on in 5 years and say, he's why the lottery exists now. Like, who's the worst team? If I said to you, who is going to have the
He's talking about Caleb.
next year?
Well, probably Houston if they.
Well,
We can't flip flop like that's the
Sammy.
point.
The coach is gone, and Caleb still can't, and Caleb still lost. That's
Oh
not the
my
way it works.
God, Sammy!
That's not the way it
How,
works,
Sammy? Come on, man.
Jeepers creepers.
Yeah, exactly. Where's Sam? Sammy, please. It's 1920. The Galloping Ghost is going to take everybody by the storm. No more George McCaskey. Let's bring out the Galloping Ghost. There
Caleb
you go.
stinks.
There's your
Thanks,
Caleb
Sam.
stinks.
Steve G 999. The Bears are a perfect microcosm of Western civilization built on the shoulders of great men, and his soft ass overprivileged offspring drive the ship off of a cliff.
That's actually pretty on point there.
Chubbs is back.
There he
$5.
is.
George is the
Chubbs.
cat because
Get
on
Chubbs
YouTube,
on the show.
because
Yeah.
on YouTube you can't cuss. Apparently, you can't even say what a cat is. Also known for being called. Chubbs is back again.
Chubbs.
George just needs to come out and tell everybody not to assume his gender. Not
George
gonna
the
go there.
umpire. George the ump.
Isaiah Chukwoo, $4.99. Being a Georgia fan and a Bears fan and looking at what we keep getting at head coach position is disgusting.
Sammy
There you
is
go.
the problem.
Yeah.
Sammy is. It's guys like Sammy.
Yeah.
Sammy played soccer. Sammy's mom made him cold lunch every day. He had snacks packed. You know, those little yogurt snacks, Go-Gurt.
Yeah.
Sammy
I
had it all.
swiped some of those from my daughter's
Yeah.
lunch sack when she gets
Yeah.
back from daycare. 100%, bro. 100%.
Sandy can never play for Mike Tomlin.
Oh man, but we do have this.
Breaking news. The tape never lies. Network breaking news.
I was given the opportunity.